Yeah, Broder, we were chatting a little bit. He says, we're still in this thing. The Lions aren't out yet. They got plenty of fight left. They do. We got 15 more weeks, 14 more games. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I think we're going to be just fine. We're going to get into that, too. We have a topic right off the bat at 8:15 talking about the dust settling a little bit. Week 2, you heard a lot of different people. Lomas Brown today. Lomas Brown meet Booner. Booner meet Lomas Brown. We were on the same page. There's people that are on my side here when it comes to, listen, it's week 2 and you're in the NFL, there's injuries. So we'll get into that, Broder. I'll let you kind of go through the rundown here. We have a extremely packed show today, and I cannot wait to get into it.
Yes, like you said, we're going to be talking just about the dust settling on the Detroit Lions, 8:15. And 8:30, we're going to talk about who's going to be the ones to step up. We were talking a lot yesterday about the depth that the Lions have. Did they now use that all up? There have been a few signings, a few practice squad transactions. Who is going to be stepping up in C.J. Gardner-Johnson's place, Josh Paschal's place? 8:45. We're going to have one more message. We assure you it's not time to panic, just like what Steve Lehman was saying in the chat. Yes. Not time to panic. We're going to go over that. 9 o'clock on, the 9 o'clock hour, there's going to be a heavy, heavy dose of Around the NFL. We're going to give you our power rankings. We're going to review some of the power rankings around the national media. They had the Lions all over the place from, I think it was 8 to 18. It was a mess. And then we're going to end with a new segment. We're going to do a temperature check. We're going to be talking about different players, different teams, different coaches around the NFL.
Yep.
See who's hot, see who's not, see who's cold. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. But one of the things, actually, before we get started, I do got to say thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone, for listening, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on any of the audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, anything Spreaker-related, that should be good. If you could hit that like on YouTube, that would be amazing. But one of the big stories to go around today. Oh, my computer, the volume's on. That's what's in my other ear. I hear this noise coming. But today,
I thought I was just hearing things. I'm not gonna lie.
Kareem Hunt.
I was going nuts.
Did you hear the rumor about Kareem Hunt? I guess it's not a rumor. He visited the Browns.
He did. Yeah, Kareem Hunt kind of went on a visit. That was one of the guys with this Lions running back room with D-Mont kind of going down. That everyone, I felt like him and Leonard Fournette, that all Detroit Lions fans wanted to see Brad Holmes go out and add another piece to this Lions offense, and just in case something else happens throughout the year, just to add that depth. Because, I mean, Craig Reynolds, we love him. He does a great job. But he's not that number 2 guy when you have D-Mont out. So a lot of people wanted Kareem Hunt. Obviously, last night, that crazy, and we were actually on the show when it happened, that Nick Chubb injury. That was insane. We hate to see that. But it's a perfect fit for Kareem Hunt just to go take over that Browns running back room.
Oh, so you think he's a perfect fit in Cleveland, not Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, you would be stupid to think that he would be a better fit in Detroit. He literally was with Cleveland last year. That same exact offense with the whole system still there. He literally was there when Nick Chubb was hurt a couple games last year. He literally just fills right in.
And
he's already been there.
They got a great offensive line. If I were a running back out in the market, looking at Cleveland or Detroit, and we don't know if he's actually considering Detroit. That's just speculation we're talking about. But wanting to join one of those teams mid-season, earlier in the season, with an offensive line like that, pretty epic.
And the Leonard Fournette stuff, too, I guess we are going to talk running back depth, so I won't get into that. That was one of our topics today. But, yeah, Kareem Hunt, he's going to the Cleveland Browns. I'll lock it in right now. I'll confirm that.
Yes.
Without it being confirmed, I will Booner guaranteed.
Didn't he – I was talking to Jalen about this before the show. Wasn't his time over in Cleveland because of a domestic violence dispute?
Yeah.
On top of the fact that they had Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford, who played great in his place. Jalen, you know a little bit about that? I sort of forgot that story.
I'm pretty sure because he started off with the Chiefs, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I think it happened with the Chiefs. So I think he's either right before that because the Chiefs happened and then they released him and then he signed with the Browns and it was him. It was Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and somebody else was there too, but Kareem Hunt was like the third back. But he used to be like a top 5, top 10 back in the league, and then that happened and it kind of like fell down a little bit, you know?
He was one of the best backs in the league when he was in Kansas City. He had that issue with the domestic violence or whatever that was, and then he went to Cleveland. The only reason he didn't re-sign with Cleveland is because I do feel like he wanted to go be that get more care because he was behind Nick Chubb, a top 5 running back in the league who gets 25 carries a night. So he was behind Nick Chubb. He didn't get a ton of touches. He didn't get what he wanted to, and he literally was a top 5 back when he was at Kansas City. So that's why I think he left Cleveland. The fact now Nick Chubb is probably out for the season, he could go right in there. He's a system that he's already used to. He's going to go in there and affect the game easily, like quick.
Yes.
So that's like, I think that's probably ideal for him. Like, he wants to be a number one back probably. He can go right in there and be that guy.
Be that number one back in a system he gets behind a great offensive line. You are spot on. Jalen, if you could you throw up that C.J. Gardner-Johnson and James Houston tweet graphic? They're side by side on Woodward Sports.
It's depressing.
This is trending, although we are a Detroit sports. Trending news in the NFL does involve C.J. Gardner-Johnson and James Houston. Those are two of our biggest defensive pieces. Here we go. It says they've officially been placed on the injured reserve. That's cornerback C.J. Gardner-Johnson and defensive end James Houston on the injured reserve. They're just two of the numerous people. The Lions got hit by the injury bug this weekend, even a little bit dating back to the Kansas City game. So I know we're going to get into more detail about that specifically as we go on, but 2 days later, Booner, it still hasn't settled, I bet, for you.
It's brutal, and I kind of, if you look into it, the Detroit Lions lost basically two starters on defense and two starters on offense. Mm-hmm. And you don't know when they're going to come back. Seeing that graphic today, it broke my heart. Especially the situation, James Houston doing that on a kickoff, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson playing through that. I did... Actually, I'll hold that too because I did have graphics at 8:30. We have these trending. Yeah, we're teasing it. I do have a couple graphics and a couple things here. Maybe a little optimistic to kind of look forward to as a Detroit Lions fan with this CJ because we don't know the details of this injury yet.
There are other defensive players that may have come back a little quick, sooner than expected.
Depending on the way the injury is. I know there's people that are saying it's not looking good, but there's also that side to where we haven't heard anything yet, so we still getting test stones, right?
100%.
You're a beat writer there in Allen Park, and you haven't heard anything. So we're sitting here waiting to see how serious it is. I do have some examples at 8:30 to bring up here with a couple players around the NFL who went through this and maybe came back that same season. So we'll go through that a little bit later.
Hopefully by Sunday night, after the Lions have hopefully again beaten the Falcons, there will be a Lions post-game show that people can tune into. Booner, could you tell them?
Actually, I'm going to tell you about the Woodward and Maine show.
Oh yeah, that's the one you should be telling about.
For all the inside scoop. Come on, bro. This is your show. Don't miss out on this. The Woodward and Maine, featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, our own Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. Episodes are 2 times a week. If you missed it this morning, go back and watch it. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays, 9 to 8 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. All the insider information that you need, C.J. Gardner-Johnson injuries, all of that. Make sure you go tune in twice a week on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
I want it.
Thanks for picking your brother up there.
Yeah, always.
I don't know what I was looking at.
We're still fresh. We're still learning. We're still getting things going here.
Unbelievable. But Booner, there was a lot of talk this weekend about Deion Sanders, the Colorado football team, the whole Colorado State rivalry, that matchup that has some dirty plays. It was an intense game that went into the wee hours of the night here on Eastern Standard Time. Jalen, can you put up that front office sports graphic just showing? Did you know that when I checked this about 2 hours ago, was the 2 most trending topics out right now involve Deion Sanders?
This is crazy too. This is I haven't seen this yet. If this is the tweet I saw earlier today, this is going to be insane.
Let's see here. Here we go. The 2 top trending videos on all of YouTube now are Deion Sanders' 60 Minutes interview and the Colorado State highlights. This just, to me, paints a picture not just in the type of impact that one human being, one player, one coach can bring to an organization in terms of just branding and national recognition and putting yourself out on the internet, on the World Wide Web. This is Colorado football, which isn't a program that's normally in the news, and Deion Sanders has come in there, turned things around. Again, a lot has to do with that Colorado State game.
Lives up to his name, primetime.
Primetime.
These primetime games. Listen, I thought this was going to be the stat. I know you saw those 2 videos were the most watched. Colorado's win against Colorado State averaged 9.3 million viewers on ESPN. That makes it the most watched college football game this season and ESPN's 5th most watched college football game in the history. It's massive that Primetime's done that at a school like Colorado. Who was there? Mel Tucker was there before. I don't know who's like.
Colorado State rivalry is nothing that we've ever talked about in Michigan, nationally.
In my lifetime, I've never just been like, oh, Colorado's a contender to go win. And then they're sitting here, they're putting up 9.3 million viewers, makes it the most watched college football game this season, and the 5th most in ESPN ever in college football.
Yeah, Mike.
That is insane.
That's
That's what I
stepping.
thought you were going to put up there for a second. I don't even have words. That's unbelievable that Deion's went and did that and turned it so quick. It's year
incredible.
one.
Year one. To me, the best part about all this news, it wasn't actually what was shown on that graphic. It was his press conference after the game. I think it was earlier today. It might have been yesterday, where he's talking about Henry Blackburn, the player on Colorado State, who has been receiving death threats and horrible messages, horrible threats to him after the dirty hit. I won't call it dirty hit. Deion didn't call it. After the questionable hit that he laid on Travis Hunter, who is out for some time, I think, with a lacerated spleen. Whether you agree with the hit or not, just the fact that he came out and was like, guys, this is a football game. He's a kid. He's learning. It didn't seem malicious. It's not the situation where you need to take a football game and start rolling out with death threats.
Yeah, the death threat, all of that. That's insane. That's unbelievable that would happen, especially as like a college kid. To where if you watch football and you're a football fan and you watch it all weekend long, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's multiple late hits. Maybe not that egregious and then just like that, but I know we all in this room watch football all weekend long. There's late hits every single weekend. You know it, you see it. That was just obviously advertised. It was against one of the Deion Sanders, one of the best players in college football, on one of the best players in college football. It was out there, but the death threats, it's like the butt fumble at Michigan State. That kid started getting death threats. It's like, man, this is just it's a game at the end of the day, you know, and we all love the sport. We all love it. That's why we're all up here talking about it. But to get death threats, it'd be like me, going at Jerry Jacobs yesterday for the coverage and then starting to get death threats from his fans.
I don't think it's fair. You know what I mean? And for Deion to respond like that, they wanted him to say, something bad about the kid, the team, the staff, the coach, because they were, beefed out for the whole week. But it's competition in sports, and for college football, I think it's good that he did that, because now it's like, it's bigger than just football. It's bigger than the kid's health. Travis is okay. You don't ever send death threats to nobody's family about that stuff, man.
It's competitiveness. You're gonna get. It's a physical sport. They're out there competing. They're out there to compete. Like, what are we talking about here? You're gonna get. There's gonna be late hits. There's gonna be big hits. You're gonna go to. There's gonna be people that go to the hospital, as bad as it is, and how much it sucks. But I mean, it's that competitive edge that these football players have. That's why they play the game.
100%, Booner. 100%. I was just going to ask for another graphic, but it's one of those things where the fans, and we're not going to show any of the graphics, but there were fights in various college football and professional leagues where there was a fan who died at the New England Patriots versus, was it the Dolphins game? He was beaten up by a Dolphins. It was a horrible thing, and it just shows you fans in the stands, they got to you got to come with a different type of mentality. You're not on the field. You're there to support your team first. It doesn't need to be all the negative.
Yeah, it's just people that you get drunk and go out there and they're just, I don't know, trying to be malicious. I don't know what it is. I've gone to games, Lions games. I went to 2 last year, and every single game I went to last year, there was a fight or there was people yelling at each other on the street. You know what I mean? It's just all these fans, and they get heated. I went to the Eagles game last year, and it was Eagles fans and the Lions fans going at it after the Lions lost. So it's a game. It's just like that. It's like the hit. But someone, who is it telling us? Nick telling us here about the Academy of Warren.
At Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football with grades K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. Now accepting new enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in. Your head hole.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Calling all landscapers for Outdoor Equipment Company. How would you like to landscape like a legend? Darren McCarty, which they announced the winner of already, 4-time Stanley Cup winner, will be on a crew for someone already, which they announced today on Big D Energy. But for all of your weed whipping, edging, zero turn, all of the lawnmowers, you want to go over to Outdoor Equip Co. to get all of that stuff, to keep all of your landscaping and all of your house needs. Keep it all right there. You want to make sure you go over to OutdoorEquipCo.com. That is OutdoorEquipCo.com.
So, Flavor Flav, what's Barry Sanders mean to you?
Barry Sanders means the world to me, just like he should mean the world to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the greatest days that Detroit could ever have. Getting a statue of one of the greatest running backs that ever came through Detroit, Barry Sanders. Woodward Sports, let's go.
I love that.
And we are back. It's Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. That's Booner. I'm Matt Broder. Thanks so much for joining us. That was the Flavor Flav supporting his friend, his longtime friend Barry Sanders at the statue reveal this Saturday evening. Oh man, it was
some
great.
Legends, man.
Legends. But thank you so much, everyone who's here. I see Eric Burrow, Steve Lehman, Tyler Chalfay, Rich Diana, Lucchini AP. Oh man, we appreciate all you guys. If you could help us out, hit that like button. Tell a friend about this stream too. Maybe share it on social media.
Yes, please.
All of that helps us out.
Get people in the chat.
But most importantly, we appreciate you're here. Thank you so much. Booner, we're going to get into a little deeper conversation about the Lions. Yesterday, there was a lot of emotions. It was a lot of negativity even. A lot of people calling for coaches' jobs and players to get cut. There was a little bit of overreaction Monday. It was overreaction Monday.
That was the biggest overreaction Monday I think I've ever been a part of since I've been in the media game here, is that we were literally 1-1. The Detroit Lions are 1-1. The Detroit Lions just lost a great football game to a playoff NFL team. They're 2-0 now. That team, we have stats later coming in the show, but when you go 2-0 last year, every 2-0 team made the playoffs. So you just lost a game in overtime to a playoff team in the NFL, and you had a chance to win it. You had a chance down the stretch where you ended up just getting a field goal. You had a chance to win the game, and then you go to overtime. Coin toss doesn't go your way, and you lose the game. You don't even get a chance. So the overreaction, and I know I was a little emotional yesterday about the same old Lions fans and kind of stating my opinion on that. But I think today, kind of watching all the other shows and looking in the chats and seeing on Twitter, I think a lot of people are starting to come around after a day or two of it, letting the dust settle, feeling a little bit, all right, maybe we're actually not in that bad of a situation, which is kind of surprising too because we lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson last night. But even then, people, even national media, we're going to go over some power rankings. They even think that the Detroit Lions are still a top 10 team in the NFL.
Everything's going to be fine.
Exactly. I don't even know who that sound drop is, but thank you for letting us know that. But even guys like Lomas Brown today, and we're going to play that video here, Jalen. Whenever you have that, let me know. But we're going to, even a guy like Lomas Brown came on E&E today and spoke about that. He talked about what the Falcons game will be like. But at the end, if you guys notice, exactly what I said yesterday, Lomas Brown looked at fans in the eyes and said, hey, we're going to be fine. So, Jalen, you want to throw that up there?
Damn, what are the Lions going to be? A little nervousness. Give them a peace of mind. Ease them up a little bit. What do the Lions need to do? Change the game plan? Because, look, this is still the same team. Couple injuries, whatever.
1-1.
Let's take it back. Let's take it back, Long. Give them some optimism, Big Long.
Hey, I got them, man. Look, we got an Atlanta team coming in town. They like to run the ball. Look, I think what we got to do again is we have to dominate the line of scrimmages. That's where it's going to start and stop at on the offensive side of the ball. If we can run the ball, it opens up everything else for Jared, man. It opens up our game so much. And like I say, we need to get that young fella experience. On the defensive side of the ball, man, we got to bring it. either we got to bring it with our 4 or 5 guys that we rotate up front with the D-line, or we're going to have to manufacture pressure by bringing safeties or bringing corners. But we got to get these quarterbacks uncomfortable. You can't let a quarterback, I don't care if he's a first-year or a 15th-year quarterback, get comfortable. He's going to eat us up. Geno got too comfortable back there, and you see what happens. So we're going to have to get to those guys early and often, as I like to say, and it's going to have to start with the guys up front. So to me, we got the ingredients. So don't panic out there. We got the team. We got the people on the team to get it done. We just had to get it done. And I think we should be able to get it done against the 2-0 Atlanta Falcons this year. I'm not still sold on Desmond Ridder. And like you say, they got Bijan Robinson there. And you're right. They don't know how to use their weapons. So let's not let Ridder get comfortable and start using those weapons that he don't know how to use right now.
All right, guys, that's it. If you heard the little part at the end there where he said, hey, let's not worry. We have the weapons. We have the team. We still have the guys to go out there and win a game like this and still move forward and move on from that last loss. All it needs to be, and let's just a little trust circle here, all of us in the chat.
Trust circle.
The Detroit Lions, they lost that game on their own. They were the better football team to me. They had two turnovers that costly, the pick six and that fumble where they went and scored on. They're the ones that were giving up terrible field position on those 4th downs where they were able to go get march down the field for 45 yards and get a touchdown. That was on them. The coverage, the linebacker coverage, all of that was on them. The defensive line, that was on them. These are all things that a football team can fix, correct? These are adjustments you can make to change. You have the pieces. You have the players. You have the just the depth to be able to do it. Even with C.J. Gardner-Johnson going out for the year, you have 3 more great safeties that can play that spot and go out there and help you keep going forward and win the conference in the division.
I love when Booner gets fired up.
So that's exactly what I'm saying is, hey, these are the reason we lost that game. To me, we had a better football team. If anyone else disagrees with me, I'll respect your opinion. Had the better football team, had the better talent, just didn't execute, and they need to make adjustments. Aaron Glenn needs to be better, right? Dan Campbell needs to figure a couple things out and make those adjustments, because last year he didn't do it until week 7 after they were 1-6 or week 8. Now, week 2, you have your loss. Make those adjustments now, and you're starting to turn things around. You have the dudes to do it. You just got to go out there and make those adjustments and do it. I'm not that worried at all.
I love when Booner gets fired up. And Booner, I agree with you 98% of what you just said.
Oh, no. What about the 2%?
No, the 2%, I got to give credit to the Seattle Seahawks. They did play a good game. They took advantage of the mistakes. And not every team can do that. Geno Smith played great. Their offensive line was depleted. They dealt with injuries too and managed to, like we said, take advantages of all the mistakes you just listed off. So
I mean, if I'm in a fight and someone falls on the ground, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go at him still. You know, that's what they did to us.
Right.
We were in the dog fight and we we slipped up and they took advantage of it. They're still one of the best teams in the NFC. As much as I said, if we beat that, or if the Detroit Lions beat them, they start 0-2. They don't make the playoffs because they started 0-2 in my opinion, but they didn't. They started 2-0 or 1-1. So
yeah, and the Lions came back in the last 3 minutes. They scored 10 points to force overtime. Seattle totally could have just lay down.
Yes,
and they went down and drove the field and ended it with the Tyler Lockett touchdown. So. Dude, I'm with you. And to hear Lomas Brown speak that, Lomas Brown knows. And shout out to the E&E, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show.
Great interview.
Every day on Woodward Sports Network from 2 to 4 p.m. with Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, former Michigan great, and Tom Mazaway. It was just a great interview. I'd encourage you to watch the full interview of Lomas. And that was a great segment that you pulled, Booner, because it's what we thought yesterday, that everyone who was either jumping on the SOL bandwagon again, or at least letting those thoughts creep into their head.
They did.
Even if they haven't voiced them, they needed to hear that. And they needed, maybe they didn't listen to you enough. If you can't agree with Lomas Brown, then you crazy. Lomas Brown, he's getting inducted into the Lions, the pride of the Lions, at their Monday Night Football game, October 30th against the Raiders. And so he's a legend.
Broder, with that too, and shout out Lomas Brown. I want to love to meet him.
No, I took care of that for you. I got
awesome.
you.
But to kind of just look at that as well is, I'm not saying we can't, like the SOL stuff, it creeped into people's head yesterday after one loss. We could look at that in 4 or 5 weeks. If the Lions are, again, if they have another 1-6 start or a 1-4 start, 1-3, and they lose this week and next week to the Packers, I'm not saying that none of us can sit here and go at them and say, hey, what are we doing? This is what we've done the last 2 years. You guys better figure this out. This is supposed to be a different team this year. But the first loss, the day after first loss, the over-exaggerations and the reactions was just like, all right, let the dust settle.
Yes.
Let's feel this out a little bit. We still have a great football team. And the sports books, all of them tell you so. You're the 4th in the NFC still. You're the 4th favorite in the NFC still. That should tell you something. You're the favorite to win the NFC North. Your win total, if they really thought you were that bad, what was it at to start the season? 9.5?
9.5.
Still at 9.5 in the sports books. Didn't move at all, and you just lost a game. If that tells you anything. All of these things are still like, Vegas knows. The fact you're still a 4th favorite in the NFC, they still know the Detroit Lions are a threat.
Yeah, I think coming out of this offseason with all of the hype and then going into Arrowhead and beating the Chiefs, that's why everybody overreacted so much. It's because we were so hurt. We were so built up thinking we're the greatest team in the world already when we really didn't do too much yet. So I think everybody got dropped back down to earth a little bit, but we still have high hopes. We're going to have to deal with the injuries and get through it, but I think we're capable of it.
I think the Detroit Lions would be just fine.
100%. And we're going to spend a little more time on Tracy Walker later in the show, but in Dan Campbell's press conference yesterday, when he was asked about C.J. Gardner-Johnson and his injury, he responded with, there's a chance he comes back this season, but then he goes, and listen, we got Tracy, man. That's why we got Tracy Walker here. So the coaching staff has confidence in Tracy Walker, and really the key is that they have confidence in that depth that they built, in those second and third liners that are able to now come in, whether it's for 1 week or for 6 to 8 weeks, or if it's Tracy Walker taking that free safety spot, maybe it's strong safety, but if he comes in, is he going to solidify that role for the rest of the season?
If Tracy Walker's your 3rd best safety, you're in a great spot.
Yeah.
You're in a good spot. He was our 4th best one, in my opinion, before C.J. Gardner got hurt, and that's insane. If he's your 3rd best safety behind Kirby and Brian Branch, you're in a great spot. Tracy starts on 70% of these teams around the NFL. He starts on almost every single NFC North team. He is that good. He's not like Pro Bowl at that level, but for it to be your 3rd guy, man, like what are we doing here? We still have a great defense. That defense still has the potential. I wouldn't say great defense after Sunday, but that defense does have the potential to still get up there and affect the game.
It is. It's crazy. Let's keep talking about Tracy Walker and some of those second liners stepping up. How are the Lions going to handle a new game plan? How are they going to handle the Atlanta Falcons with some of these second and third string players now moving up the depth chart to either start on Sunday or get significantly more playing time? But first, I got to tell you about Mark White Real Estate, because when buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with the Mark White & Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Code Woodward Glorious. www.gloriouscanna.com.
Welcome back to Woodward Night. This is my co-host Booner. My name is Matt Broder. Thank you everyone for joining us. We got Nick in the booth, the sound booth. Nick on the ones and twos.
Yes, sir.
We got Jalen in the TD booth, making sure these graphics look great. Our faces are in these boxes. We're working on our screen behind, so we're going to have that done shortly. But Jalen's the man making this all work. And really what drives this show is the chat. Everyone joining us, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Spreaker, any of those platforms. Thanks so much for joining us. If you could, on YouTube, hit that like. If you're on one of the other platforms, maybe give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, please. And hey, shout out Peaceful Tim. Nick, Chris said Nick kills the reads, and then Peaceful Tim, Nick does kill the reads. Nick practices. If you guys are in here in the studio before the show, Nick's in there reading them on his own. He practices. He's ready. He's prepared. That's preparation.
It is.
You guys give me the good ones. Appreciate it.
Aaron Glenn, that is preparation.
All of them are good. All of them are good.
Preparation is the key to success. The key to success. Well, we're going to jump right back into this conversation. We're going to round out a little bit more the injuries, depth, planning, not game planning for Atlanta. We're going to get to more of that this week, but we want to just talk about how, when this dust is settled, who's going to be the one stepping up. We were talking about Tracy Walker right before the break. If you could, Jalen, there's a tweet Woodward Sports put out with Lucas, a little quote tweet of Lucas. Eventually, Tracy Walker quote tweets on top of it.
There's two of them here. Yeah,
eventually, quotes tweets on top of it, but it's basically explaining, man, it's such a deflating moment losing someone as important as C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But wait a second, we have Tracy Walker. If you could throw it up, send it, baby. Here we go. So this is his retweet, and basically it's showing below that you would see Lucas's tweet inside the Woodward Sports graphic.
Look at those stats too. I mean, that's like I said, for your third safety, for that third guy out there, those stats right there are solid.
Yeah.
He's been solid. Before he got injured last year to start the year, he was solid for the Detroit Lions 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's ready to go. And the fact that, and shout out to him for giving love to Woodward Sports and socials there, but the fact that he knows it's time. You saw the tweet yesterday from him about 1:30. He kind of, I'm guessing he knew before everyone else, but he said, hey, always be prepared for that. The kind of, in a sense, he said, hey, you always have to be prepared to step up in that moment. So for him to be able to do that and be ready for it, I'm excited. He's a pro. He's a veteran. He knows what the moment holds. Hey, I still think this defense could be top 15 in the NFL. I'm just gonna say that.
I want to get to that question, but real quick, do you think he put it's tea time? There's two T's there. Do you think that was a mistake, or do you think that was on purpose?
Why? What's that?
Tea time, like Tracy Walker. Maybe it's a nickname for him. Tea time.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know where that came from.
Oh.
From Like Mike?
Ooh, Broder strikes again.
Let's go.
Bro. T-Time Calvin Cambridge, man. That was a nickname he gave him. He didn't like it though, but he learned into it. Yeah, T-Time, man. That's Tracy Reynolds, man. Shout out to Like Mike and Bow Wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But here, and two real quick, the C.J. Gardner-Johnson injury, kind of to touch on that a little bit as well. Looking ahead, like we don't know, we haven't heard details on it, and this is kind of what I teased at the start of the show. Jalen, can you throw up that T.J. Watt tweet?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
This is an interesting. I just went digging. We don't know what the details and kind of the in-depth how bad is that pec injury, but here I went back and looked at a tweet last year at this time that Ian Rappaport put out, and he said Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt suffered a torn pec muscle but did not fear or did not tear the tendon. That is why, as he says, he'll be back. It's about 6 weeks of rehab. Then Watt could return with no surgery. So we don't have details completely on this injury unless I just haven't seen them yet. If anyone in the chat has seen details, but Broder is our beat writer here, and he hasn't been able to. He hasn't heard anything on it. So maybe there's a little hope that it's not a tear of that tendon, and it's just kind of what T.J. Watt had last year. Because when you look at T.J. Watt's game logs last year, on 9/11, probably week 1, goes down with that pec injury. November 13th. He is back, and he's played in 1-2. He played in 8-9 games still.
So he was back in 2 months.
Wow. And that's just if you don't need surgery. If C.J. Gardner-Johnson does not need surgery, there is that little bit of hope to where maybe he does come back for the second half of the season. We don't know, though. Obviously, if it's past that, he has to get surgery, and there's that complete tear of a tendon, he's probably not coming back. But we haven't heard anything, so I just wanted to I did a little digging today. Try to do my job a little bit today.
I like it, Booner, the archaeologist.
Yeah,
the
FBI,
paleontologist.
FBI agent.
Paleontologist.
Oh, yeah.
You dig?
I was more of an investigator.
I got you. No, but you prove a good point. We don't know exactly yet. The fear is that it's fully torn and he's out for the season, but you never know. And even the surgery isn't a very complicated surgery, but the rehab for the pec, you have to rehab all the little muscles around your pectoral muscle. Like if you think about when you're bench pressing, if you don't have any strength in that pec, there's just no power you can get. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson's one of those guys. He's not the tallest guy, but he relies on that leverage, that strength, and that power to not just run, but also make those tackles and go up against DK Metcalf, the bigger guy.
How crazy is it that he played that rest of that game?
Insanity.
That's just pure toughness.
I think it was 7 of his 8 tackles came after he tore his pec.
I respect the hell out of him for doing that. That is insane. Now the next step of this, we talked Tracy Walker. I text Lucas today. I said, "There's one thing with this whole situation that we all have to look at. It's time for Kirby Joseph to become that guy.
Kirby's going to be that guy, Booner.
We saw the last couple games last year, especially versus Aaron Rodgers, that he looked really good. It's time for him to take that next step. That we all had those conversations before C.J. Gardner-Johnson signed with Detroit. Can Kirby be a Pro Bowler? Can he take that next step the next couple years and be an All-Pro player? It's time for him to take that next step and do that because you really need him to be that number one. He needs to be the number one guy here for the Detroit, that secondary, for sure.
Hey, Jalen, can you do a poll for us? Can Kirby Joseph become All-Pro? Did you say
Pro Bowl? Let's say Pro Bowler.
Okay,
yeah,
All-Pro
Bowl is maybe 2 or 3 years.
Fair. I want to go with what you said, and you said Pro Bowl. But I love that you single out Kirby Joseph because it's not that he's had a bad first 2 games, and he's kind of filled
had a good
up
game last game.
The stat sheet, but he's been quieter, and maybe that's because C.J. Gardner-Johnson's been out there, but this is a great moment for Kirby Joseph to take that next step. We all wanted him to spend the entire year playing alongside C.J. GJ and getting even more experience playing against somebody like that, but that doesn't mean that Kirby Joseph can't contribute and be a star of that defense from this moment forward.
Yeah, and you just basically, now you're sitting there with that trio. Brian Branch, we said it yesterday. And it's really weird, too, because yesterday the news broke while we were on the show. So it was like, all right, what are our initial reactions? Now that I've been able to dive into it, now it's like, all right, now we know Kirby Joseph, dude, it's time to go out there and be that guy. Be a dude. Go make plays. Brian Branch, I know you're a rookie. I know it's only your 3rd NFL game ever. You had a pick 6 on Patrick Mahomes. It's time to be that guy as well. It's time to even step up even more. You're going to be expected more. In my opinion, those two are going to be expected a lot more than they were last week going into the game.
Yes, and it's not just, and I'll come to you in 2 seconds, Nick. It's not just the takeaways that Kirby Joseph can impact. Actually, you were talking about Brian Branch. The takeaways that Brian Branch can continue to do to impact, like that pick 6. But it's that ability that C.J. Gardner-Johnson brought to the defense, being able to secure the running back or the tight ends or anybody kind of sneaking out of the backfield. It felt like all of training camp and even a few times in those first 2 games, whenever they were out in the flats and C.J. Gardner-Johnson was on the field, he was either around the ball or making the solo tackle. So I think Brian Branch, this is the moment where we see that part of his game, which was featured at Alabama. That's where he was very good in the backfield. We want to see that come out. But Nick, you got something to say about, was it Brian Branch, or take it where you want?
With Brian Branch's pick 6, he was able to take advantage of the quarterback on that one, and Geno Smith made a mistake big time in the 4th quarter, and Kirby got his hands on the ball. It would have been a super hard interception to make, but these are the plays he's going to have to make to take this next step, because it was pick 6 the whole way. Would have been like a 95-yard touchdown the other way. He needs to take advantage of these plays and be the leader of that secondary now with CJ out.
This is interesting, this poll. I know we only have 30 votes so far. If you guys want to vote on that, everyone watching, can Kirby Joseph be a Pro Bowler this year? 76% so far say yes.
Interesting.
And it is hard. It's tough as a safety because there's only, I think, Lucas and I were talking about this today. There's only, I think, 2 from each side.
Yeah.
And then you might get a couple. If the guy goes to the Super Bowl, you might end up getting maybe one more reserve that goes. So maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 at most safeties. So you really have to be in that elite club. So I don't know if he can do it this year, but I think there's a chance to where now he's that number 1 dude in that secondary, to where CJ's still going to be there on the side. He's still going to be teaching them. He just had that whole training camp with CJ. Broder, I mean, you were at training camp. I went a couple days. He was he was out there and he was just as vocal as CJ Gardner-Johnson. It felt like at times, and CJ brought that out of him. It felt like that he brought that dog out of him, and that vocalness and that leadership. So I'm not too worried about it. I still think you have a solid, and I truly do think. We talked about it going into week 1. Can this Detroit Lions defense be top 15? I don't see how you still can't. I get the defensive line issues. I get that CJ Gardner-Johnson's out. I just the last 8 games last year, you had a top 17 defense, I would say. I don't see how you can't do it this year with more talent than you had to end the season last year.
So according to PFF, after 2 games, they're the 24th ranked defense. And again, it's early. There have been
you
teams
can still jump up, man.
100%.
You played 2 great teams.
Do you think that they can do that with this trio in the secondary? And we could open it up to just the entire defense, but the loss of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that trio of Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, Brian Branch, and then you got Cam Sutton and hopefully Emmanuel Mosley coming up soon. Jerry Jacobs is obviously there now filling in. But do you think that trio, that group, can lead the Lions to a top 15 defense, can get them back there? What do you think, Booner?
All I think it comes down to is Aaron Glenn. Like, what are they going to do? Glover Quinn was on the heavyweight shout out, and he kind of mentioned something like that with Aaron Glenn as well. It's like, hey, what schemes are you going to have here, and like, how is this defense going to? What adjustments are you going to make now with a guy like Kirby Joseph being that guy, Brian Branch, and Tracy Walker? Without C.J. Gardner-Johnson, what are you going to do? Because to me, the safety room is better than the safety room when you went to Green Bay last year.
Yeah.
And you won those games, and you finished the season 8-2. So Aaron Glenn has to get in that bag when he finished 8-2 on the year, and he had one of the top 17 defenses in the league. He needs to figure that out, and he needs to figure it out quick. You can't wait. Like I said, you can't wait till week 8, buddy. You have to do it week 3.
100%. And to set up that secondary for big games, Aaron Glenn's got to find a way to get more pressure on the quarterback. Actually, not just pressure, actually get to the quarterback and make it difficult for them in the backfield. We've seen Geno and Patrick Mahomes be able to wiggle out and be one of their team's leading rushers. You got something?
Did you see the stat? I think you actually put it in there. I don't know if we have that. The Aiden Hutchinson stat. I don't know if
I put it in there, Jalen. If you can find it, it's the
this stat
there
is
we go.
Insane. The fact that Aiden Hutchinson doesn't have a sack yet, TJ Watt already has, I think, 4.5 sacks. All of these guys, I'm pretty sure, all have sacks. Hutch is leading the league in quarterback pressures.
By the number. I can't tell what I feel about this. Like it's great that he's leading it, but unfortunately, those 13 pressures haven't made enough of a difference yet.
It hasn't made an impact that you would think. I'm interested in. I don't know if it's more so that he doesn't have the guys around him that are kind of giving that, or it's just he's just not finishing off these plays.
Yeah, that's something we got to watch a little closer.
Yeah.
My gut, and I don't know if you feel the same way, my gut's telling me that he's getting to the quarterback, he's getting close to him, getting that pressure, the 13 pressures to lead the league. But again, Patrick Mahomes and Geno Smith, they found a way to wiggle out of the middle, the defensive tackle, the interior of that defensive line. I don't know what is happening when it breaks down.
It seems like he's just missing. Like, there was the one play where he literally had Geno Smith dead on. All you had to do was finish the play, and Geno just quick sidestep. He barely misses it, and Geno gets the ball off. And there was literally no one around either of them. He just had a free path to him, and he beat his guy, and Geno just one little shimmy move. So I think it's just, hey, you're getting to the quarterback. We know how elite Aiden Hutchinson is and how elite he can be. Like I said, I said it on the morning show when I was on the morning show. That's a 15 sack guy. He has that potential, but you have to finish these plays. TJ Watt, he does it, and you can't make the excuse, this getting double teamed all day. TJ Watt's getting double teamed. Micah Parsons getting double teamed.
Preach.
All of these guys are getting double teamed around the NFL. Every single high level pass rusher, edge rusher gets double teamed. Got to find a way to get to the quarterback and finish the play.
You do.
Have to.
You do. And then when that quarterback, when they start making plays, you got to make sure that they stay out of the end zone. Right, Booner?
Ooh, what a transition. That is Guardian Alarm, baby. Customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time. Recommended security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed, which is technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that is proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Make sure you call 1-800 right there on the screen. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, and Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Head over to the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. They got grab-and-go steaks, and apparently, I haven't been there yet. Ermanni says it's a fantastic place. Or you can go online at fairwaypacking.com.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights. My name is Booner. We've got Broder over here on the desk with me, the co-host, Jalen in the TD booth, and Nick in the sound booth. Real quick, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. I think we are actually less than 200 subscribers away.
We're close.
From 50,000.
Woodward Sports Network is almost at 50,000 subscribers.
It is insane. If you guys can subscribe for us, tell a friend. Make sure you tell people to come tune into Woodward Sports, Woodward Nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Hit that like button. But we're going to kind of continue this Detroit Lions talk a little bit. At about 9:15, we're going to switch to the NFL and a little bit more about some trending topics in the NFL. But we're going to stay Detroit Lions right now because there's some news today. Zonovan Bam Knight has been added to the 53-man roster, I believe, Broder.
Yes, sir.
And you texted me today, and we talked about, we wanted to talk a little bit about the Detroit Lions' depth and how that looks going into this next week with the offensive line, defensive line, running back room with these injuries. And you specifically texted me and you said, Booner, all I want to talk about is the running back room. So Broder, I'm gonna leave it to you here. I want to hear where your thoughts are on this running back room because this is the mystery for Lions fans right now. I think
it is.
Out.
And to be clear, my context of the text was more about the general running back situation in the NFL, but the Lions are right in the middle of it because it's injury related. And the Lions, David Montgomery goes down with a thigh injury. We don't know how long he's going to be out. Dan Campbell says day to day. David Montgomery seems to think it might be a little bit longer, so we'll see. But the point of this is that across the NFL, whether it's Nick Chubb, David Montgomery, there have been a couple other running backs get injured. This is what all the talk was in the offseason about salaries, the running backs wanting to get their next contract. And the thought that came to me about Jahmyr Gibbs, and while this isn't the specific conversation we were planning on having right now, it's the fact that if you're going to take a running back that high, whether it's Bijan at 6, 7, 8, or Jahmyr Gibbs at 12, my thought is, or at least maybe it's my assumption, is that the team that drafts them is going to use him, run him into the ground for 5 years with that extra year on their rookie contract without the expectation that they're going to re-sign him. So when now the Lions, we're 2 games in and Jahmyr Gibbs has 14 rushes, it seems like a lot of people around the city want to see more of Jahmyr Gibbs, both catching the ball out of the backfield and rushing the ball. So to me, it's just been a little confusing. They're easing these guys in. I get the thought. They're easing rookies in, getting used to the speed of the NFL. But to me, especially because it's a running back a position, I don't want to see Jahmyr Gibbs get injured, but I want to see him get used. I want to see him do more on the offense. I want to see Ben Johnson get creative. So it's going to be interesting. Now that David Montgomery's out, the thought is that Jahmyr Gibbs moves into that number 1 role. But is he that guy for the offense? Is he that guy? Does he have that trust from Dan Campbell or Ben Johnson and Scotty Montgomery yet? Or are they going to mix it up? Is Craig Reynolds going to handle the majority of the rushes?
No.
They brought in Zonovan Knight. They actually brought him up from the practice squad. He's more of a Jahmyr Gibbs type of runner. He's a speed guy. He's on the outside. So I don't know if I would put Craig Reynolds into the category, but we don't have that between the tackles, runner with David Montgomery out. So I guess, Booner, my long-winded response and question is, do you think the Lions are done? Do you think they're going to be looking for another running back to help solidify that room while Montgomery's out? A Kareem Hunt, Fournette type of guy? I'm not saying it has to be then. Or are they going to just try to get by right now with Jahmyr Gibbs as that number 1?
I don't think they're going to get anyone else. I think they're going to get by. Obviously, David Montgomery isn't on the IR. It's going to be a couple weeks, if that. So he will be back. I think it's a situation where they're going to look at it and say that's why they brought Zonovan Knight up, is, hey, let's try and get by. As much as everyone hates it, at the end of the day, and I know Jalen said it, oh, God, no.
Not a chance.
Craig Reynolds will get carries. You saw it kind of in that fourth quarter and that third quarter. That's a guy even last year that they trusted a little bit to kind of just that first down, get a couple yards, get 4 or 5 yards, and they trust him. I don't know if it's not a great, that's our end-all, be-all. But for a couple weeks, if you kind of throw him and Zonovan Knight back and forth, I get it, I guess. If you don't want to...
Carries are fine. If he gets a couple carries, that's fine. But I don't know about you. I don't have the confidence that he could be that 3-down back.
He will not be. I think I can guarantee that. But I do think Jahmyr Gibbs, and I really, really want to say this because Nick talked about it yesterday that he feels like he needs to get more touches, and he does. He needs to get more, not just catch, he needs to get more carries as well, especially with a guy like David Montgomery out. As much as we all hate it and we don't want to run him into the ground, it has to happen now.
Yes.
Because we're in the NFL. We saw it this Sunday. You're in the winter. You have to win these games. There's no games you can take off and just say, hey, let's just wait till David Montgomery comes back. We'll still run Jahmyr Gibbs 8 times, and we'll just give Craig Reynolds 15, 20 touches. Not going to happen. This is an NFL. You're in the NFL. You have to win these games. You have to give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs, whether it's 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Give him the rock. Let him make plays, and let him open it up. Let him get used to that, because maybe that's up turning out to where that's why we took you number 12. Jalen?
Why are we saving him? You know what I mean? We picked him so high.
Yeah.
You got Bijan out there in Atlanta splitting, downs, but he's playing, full flesh, 100%. Why are we saving him? If D-Mont's out, I don't want to see Craig Reynolds play. I don't. Not first down, second down, or third down. He's not the back. You draft him at number 12. You want him to play. I think Jahmyr Gibbs needs to play, get some more reps. But why? It's no reason run him into the ground. It's the NFL now. He's here. We picked him that high for a reason. We didn't pick him to split touches and if D-Mont gets hurt, let's do Craig Reynolds. I know Zonovan Knight's good and all, but Jahmyr Gibbs needs to get in the backfield, needs to get touches. I do not want to see Craig Reynolds play over Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
It's not. It makes zero sense.
And I get it with David Montgomery, and I do get it a little bit because David Montgomery's a good running back.
100%.
He is a legit running back, and you want him to be that guy to go get you 4 or 5 yards. And even if you look at Jahmyr Gibbs in college, versus Kansas State, 15 carries. Auburn, 17 carries. Ole Miss, 6 carries, 15, 10. He had 2 20-plus ones, 18. So he's done it before. He's got 15-plus. Obviously, being a rookie and a different type of back than Bijan, you don't want to just go give him 20 carries right off the bat in the NFL, and that's why you have David Montgomery to take those. But now, with David Montgomery out, if we don't see him at least get, I'm going to just throw a number out there. What did he have last game? 7? Or maybe even less. He might have had less carries. 6 or 7 the last 2 games. If he doesn't get 12 carries, then we have an issue here.
I'm with you.
You have to at least give him 12 carries and get him some touches out of the backfield. And the only reason I'm saying 12 is because David Montgomery's out.
Yeah, I'm with you. And to defend Craig Reynolds just real briefly, he is the best pass blocker, the best running back on that roster in pass protection. So it's not a bad thing having him out there on third down, maybe moving Jahmyr Gibbs to the slot. But like Coach Walk said in the chat, so far through 2 games, we've seen more snaps to the second rounders, Brian Branch and Sam Laporta, than we have out of Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Mm-hmm. And Jack Campbell has some similar question marks of his usage and why he isn't playing more on the defensive end. But yeah, with Jahmyr Gibbs needing to get him carries, needing to get him touches, you just need that explosion. You drafted him as a weapon, and then you look to the wide receiver room with Antoine Green out with a concussion. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He might play. They didn't target Marvin Jones one time in this last game. He's healthy. I don't know what was up with that.
Broder, with the Jahmyr Gibbs, is like last week, and everyone probably saw it on social media on Woodward Sports Socials. I put out there, I thought it was the Jahmyr Gibbs game. They talked about it in the press conferences that they were going to try and get him involved more. It didn't feel like that. Like, it just didn't feel like that. And even when David Montgomery went down, it just didn't feel like they were like, let's get the ball to Jahmyr. Let's get the ball to Jahmyr. It was just, Craig Reynolds. And that run game just died. And that was what had you beating the Seahawks. So this week, I might double down and say from last week, this is your Jahmyr Gibbs game. Yeah. This is where he gets a touchdown. This week, that's what I'm doubling down. This is the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown week, and I truly believe it. That now with David Montgomery out, that he has to go out in there and do that. You have to see him get in the end zone. You have to see him get the touches and make plays. He's a 12th overall pick. Ben Johnson, you said you have all these things written up for him and all these different plays for him, and you want to use them in different ways. Let's see it. Give it to us, please.
Show us.
Yeah, I really want to see an end around here or there. I want to see a screen play. Have we seen one screen for him that has broken loose? So. It's like, what are we doing with this weapon that we talked about? Gibbs is explosive. We really need to see it come Sunday against the Falcons for us to want a chance to win this game.
Booner, do you think we're good at wide receiver?
Yeah.
You're not worried at all?
I've kind of gone on, and you can always add weapons. Like, you can always go add weapons. After the last 2 weeks, I'm very confident Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think he's the injury. I don't think that's an issue. 2, Josh Reynolds has proven to be that next guy to where he can step up. 3, Jamo comes back in 4 games. He will be back, and I cannot wait to see him play. I think he's going to be a huge piece to this offense. Especially with David Montgomery coming back in this little run game that they have with him and Jahmyr. And I do think after that, Khalif Raymond and Marvin Jones, I think those guys, they're great.
I was just about to say, he was your sleeper. Khalif Raymond was your sleeper unsung hero pick
and
before.
He scored a touchdown.
For the game, the flea flicker touchdown. It was a greatly drawn up play. And he had a huge, it was a punt return right before the end of regular time, before the end of the fourth quarter.
It's crazy to me that no one really was talking about Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond before. People were like, we need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver.
I was. All offseason I was. I'm going to book it. I got receipts, too.
Yeah, I felt like there was a handful of people who were just they made it sound like that we had practice squad guys. But
that doesn't mean the return of Jamison Williams won't be a significant elevator of this offense. Huge. It's going to be massive. What I hope is that they don't ease him along again like they're doing Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell and some of these guys. Like they did to him at the end of last season. They give him one target here. When he comes back, whatever they need to do, and hopefully his hamstring injury is better, when he comes back, he needs to be getting 10 targets. I mean, they need to get the ball in his hands early and often. Quick. Yeah. Do they need to do anything with their defensive line depth, specifically at the defensive tackle position? You know what? I'll open it up to the edges, too, because Aiden Hutchinson, although he's leading the league in pressures, we're not getting sacks. Do they need to make a move? And we can extend this. We can bring this back into the next segment. But initial thoughts there, Booner.
Real quick, we'll do this one short here. You have to play Bugs and Broder.
Yeah.
You have to give them a chance.
Yes.
It's not even a thing where how they've been in practice, how's this person been doing, how has this been doing. It's who you have out there right now isn't producing. The best opportunity you have is just try something else. Get Bugs in. We saw what they could do. We saw what Bugs could do last year. Just get him in there. I don't care. you have to do it. And real quick, can you pull up that bug suite, Jalen? I'm sorry. Before we go to break.
I got you, neighbor. Give me a second. I got you, buddy.
Broder hasn't even seen this yet, but Bug tweeted this out just about at 7 o'clock tonight. I love hard times because when I break through, it's going to be my time, and I'm never looking back. Ooh. Isaiah Buggs is ready to go. So whenever Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Aaron Glenn, they want to throw him out there and they want him to go play and maybe do anything more than Aleem McNeil's doing or any of these guys, Benito Jones, whatever they're doing right now, which is literally nothing. They have 0 quarterback pressures, 0 all missed tackles, everything is 0. Try some insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting the same result. I heard that all the time growing up because I was terrible at school. Oh, you're just going to keep doing this, Booner? You keep doing this? No, that's insanity. Change something up. Bring one of those guys. Get Bugs in there. See what someone can do. You should have done it last week. Do it this week.
Do it this week. No one's going to judge. No one's going to judge, especially if you're at the judgment-free zone that they call Planet Fitness. Booner.
Yes, Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I mean anyone, they let me in there, Booner, can come feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms with tons of equipment and a full-body workout in just 30 minutes. And all memberships include fitness training. For more information or to join today, and to go get your black card, visit your local Planet Fitness or www.planetfitness.com, where your fitness is essential.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
What could be better than playing golf with Braylon Edwards and Darren McCarty, 2 Detroit athletes, celebrities, legends, playing golf yourself and being treated like a celebrity? That's what. Stop into any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. They've got VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak after. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. So why don't you go and make the wise choice and get to Randy Wise today for your chance to win.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights. My name is Booner. I'm sitting next to Broder here, the beat writer for Woodward Sports, Detroit Lions beat writer. We've got Jalen in the TD booth, and we've got Nick in the sound booth.
What a crew.
We've got a squad here, 8 to 10. Make sure you guys tell friends, tell everyone that you know to tune in from 8 to 10 p.m. every night. We're taking over that night slot in the Detroit sports here.
We are.
And we're going to do it. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep pushing.
And that's because of everyone in the chat. I see guys that we chat with all day long that show up to our shows. We got Jay Cruzin, Mike Hilton, G-Man75, Tyler Chavez, Steve Wilds. All you got, Nicholas Earl. I know I'm missing some guys who I chat with all the time, but I appreciate everyone who's in there. Let's get those likes up.
Make sure you hit that like button for us, please. And again, tell a friend. But we're going to slowly get into here. We're going to talk a little bit more Detroit Lions with this graphic that we have. I found a crazy graphic this morning when I was scrolling through Twitter, and I wanted to bring it up on the show today. And it kind of leads into a little bit of NFL talk, but kind of the worries here with the Detroit Lions going 1-1. And I know there was a situation with, hey, if you go 2-0, all of those teams last year make the playoffs. You know, if you go 2-0, you have this percentage. If you go 0-2, probably aren't making the playoffs. Jalen, can you throw this graphic up here?
Got your neighbor.
This is the no need to panic graphic. I saw this on Twitter today. I can't remember where. I can't remember. Maybe it was like Dove Climbing or someone put it out there. But look at this graphic real quick. I'll read this off to you. I'll break this down to you guys real quick. Right here, since 1990, the percentage of teams to make the playoffs after starting 2-0, basically 64%. 1-1, 42%, which that could be alarming if you're a Detroit Lions fan. You only have a 42% chance of making the playoffs. Then we'll go over to the right here. It's to win the division. If you start off 2-0, you only have a 41% chance, which it's good, but it's not guaranteed, right? 1-1, 24%. And then right underneath there, it says an 0-2 team has made the playoffs. This is a crazy stat in 7 of the last 10 seasons. And last season, 8 of the 14 teams that started 1-1 or 0-2 made the playoffs. 8 teams that started 1-1 made the playoffs out of the 14 teams, and all 6 teams that made it last year that started 2-0. So I kind of hear in the chat as well, and if we can make a chat, just say, are you
a poll?
Yeah, a poll. I apologize. We can make a poll here, just asking, hey, are you still worried? Can the Detroit Lions still make the playoffs after starting 1-1? Because to me, the statistics here, this doesn't worry me at all. I think the 0-2 would be way more worrying, but 1-1, when you have a team like this, when you're fourth, you're considered fourth in the NFC right now.
Are you hitting the panic button or the snooze button?
Snooze.
Yeah, just no big deal.
Like I'm sleeping in for school.
No,
I just need you to trust me. That's all.
Deal.
Please.
What do these stats do to you, Broder?
No,
how do you feel about it?
It painted a picture for me statistically. This one's for Sam Flannel, and you know what? Because we just went that direction, I got to shout out Kalamazoo. He had a funny comment. He says, I like this show because Sam Flannel is not melting down. Neil Rule is not trashing Michigan and is not laughing at Lions fans. So Sam Flannel, in honor of Sam Flannel, these stats, they do paint a picture. And especially you've talked about how difficult it is to go 0-2 and make the playoffs. Starting 1-1 is fine. It's okay. The Lions have time.
8 teams did it last year and made the playoffs.
8 teams out of... How many teams total make it?
14.
Yeah. So more than 50% started the season at 1-1. So it isn't over. The Lions' schedule, we've talked about it since before the season. The Lions' schedule is favorable. It's not one of the hardest in the league. They've got a great home and away schedule. Their only West Coast trip is after a bye week when they go play the Chargers. So they still have a chance for sure. Booner, I think that stat, it definitely help confirm my confidence that, man, I really wish they beat the Seahawks. I really wish we were talking about 2-0 right now. But, man, now I want to be talking about 2-1. And I want to be talking 3-1.
And even kind of breaking that down when you look at the division stats there, to where it's 24% of the teams that start 1-1 will win their division.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the NFC North to where every single team in the NFC North just lost the win week 2.
Exactly.
There's not one team in the NFC North that's sitting at 2-0. Yes, it would have been amazing to start 2-0 and say, hey, you have a 40% chance of winning your division. Probably even more because every team lost. Yeah, it would have been great. We would have all loved it. But the Detroit Lions are still 1-1.
Yeah.
And they can still do it. You know, it's still like you're right there. So, I mean, you go 2-1 here, you beat the Falcons. I think there's a Falcons fan in the chat, actually, today.
Hopefully. Well, let us know your thoughts on either what we're saying about the Lions, your confidence. We'll welcome anybody, but like Joshua Dunseth just said, and like you just said, the NFC North is wide open. I personally thought the Bears were going to be a little more competitive this year. And again, the season's not over, but they look like,
I want to throw,
if not the worst, the second worst team in the NFL.
I want to throw a petition out there that on this show we just don't talk about Justin Fields until he becomes like a real quarterback. And I know I showed the stat yesterday with him with whoever that other quarterback, Glennon.
Mike Glennon.
And
Mike
Glennon had
crazy,
better stats through 2 or 3 weeks. It was just that comparison. I throw a petition out there. Maybe we start a new poll. Can we just know Justin Fields talk on this show until he just shows us anything? I'm tired. All of the people who yelled at me when I was on all these other shows before the preseason, when we went over preseason stuff, and they're like, "Oh, Booner, man, he's a MVP dark horse. Look out for him." And I'm sitting there, he has to show us something first.
Show us.
You can easily tell. Oh, he did good at Ohio State. He could throw the rock at Ohio. Show us. Because he didn't show us anything last year, and he's not showing us anything now. I don't want to hear his name on this show.
I think Ohio State quarterbacks were like 0-6 for the first 2 weeks in the NFL, something like that. Had to throw that one in, obviously. Go blue. But Booner, you made a comment. I was ready to send you something. Oh, that was, you don't want to talk about Justin Fields. That's fine. You only get one chance when you can talk about him. It's the pregame show.
Lions pregame show, baby. Woodward Sports Lions pregame show returns for another season. And look at that. Hollywood up on the screen there. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Ifrady with weekly special guests on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're drinking the Kool-Aid or you're just screaming the same old Lions like some of the miserable Lions fans from yesterday, we still love you, but screaming same old Lions. We still want everyone to tune into the Lions pregame show Sundays from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. with Jeff Ifrady, special guest. Believe this week is Neil Rule on Sunday, so make sure you guys tune in for that on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
All right, so the moral of these, as we wrap up the Lions talk in these last 4 minutes, we're going to stick on NFL, but the moral is don't panic. The dust is settling. The Lions are going to be fine.
That's the theme of the show today.
They still need to show it. What'd you say?
So that's the theme of the show today.
Yes.
Let the dust settle and don't worry.
Yeah, show us.
Sounds so nice.
Show us. And I might pivot to just get to the NFL a little earlier, but I'm going to take it all the way back to our intro. I don't know if, Jalen, you could go back to the graphics that have there's a Miguel Cabrera graphic up there that I'm going to lead. It should be maybe near the top. I'm going to lead into that. So Booner, we haven't talked about baseball much, but this is Miguel Cabrera's last season. And as he's going around, as they have away series, is the teams are doing different things to signify to show their appreciation for being able to witness Miguel Cabrera over the years. So a lot of different teams give him gifts, usually on the last game of the series. Have you been able to find it, Jalen?
Yeah, I got your neighbor.
So they played the Dodgers in L.A. These last couple days, and they decided to gift Miguel Cabrera a Hollywood star. So it says, Lights, Camera,
wow.
Miggy. This is from Bally Sports Detroit. Last night, the Dodgers gifted Miguel Cabrera with a Hollywood star and a donation to his foundation. I just thought this was cool. I wanted to just sneak a little bit of baseball in
Shout
here
out Miggy.
and talk
is that
about
going to
Miggy.
be on the walk place, the road there? I've never been to LA.
Yeah, so I believe like that's the star. They're going to put it into the ground, where all the other celebrities are. What is it, Rodeo Drive? Wherever it is in
Rodeo Drive.
in California.
Isn't that a song?
We have 8 Mile. They have Rodeo Drive. Detroit versus everybody.
Boom.
That's a song, I think, man.
But
I've never been to LA. I would love to go to LA. I heard it's
LA's fun, man.
In this
good
series, he got hit number 3,166, which ties him for 16th all-time in Major League Baseball.
One of my favorite Detroit sports memories was going on with my cousins to Miggy's 3,000th hit last year. And we literally were just out in the outfield right next to the sign, and it was incredible. I literally went to like 6 straight games just to try and hit it. And there was the game the day before where it got canceled. And then they were like, oh, we're going to have a doubleheader the next day, but if you had tickets the night before, that's for the second game and not the first game. So we had to go buy and spend more money to go to that first game. And luckily we did it because he did it in the first game of that doubleheader.
Hey, Broder.
Yes.
Hey, Broder, I think he, a little more baseball talk for you. I think he tied her past Adrian Beltre, man.
He tied him for 16th all time.
Me and Broder love baseball guys.
Jonathan Lord, Almago's back, baby.
Oh my
Yeah, he will never be back.
Did the Tigers hit their win total over?
Yeah, they had to.
I thought I heard Neil say something about that today that they might have.
It's much better than last year, that's for sure.
Love it.
They might have. So, around the NFL, the national media has ranked the Detroit Lions and their post-week 2 power rankings all over the map. We're going to get into ours in the next segment, and then we're going to compare it with some of the national outlets. But Booner, can you tell the people about the Sports Marketing Agency?
Yes, I can. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head over to thesportsma.com. Again, that is thesportsma.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year it's going to be awesome. It's already been awesome. Fall's also a perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. So you got to shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights.
We're back
with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always. And again, I don't lose. And even when I lose, I still don't lose.
What are you? Say what you are.
I'm a machine. I'm sitting over here with Broder, though, our Detroit Lions beat reporter here at Woodward Sports Network. We've got Jalen in the TV booth. We got Nick in the sound booth. And we are,
let's go.
Real quick, if we can hit that like button. We've got a lot of people here. We appreciate you guys all tuning in. Real quick, Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton.
Gifted
Shout
5
out Mike
Woodward
Hilton.
Sports memberships. Chris Platty got one.
Shout out.
Shout out. Finally a Woodward Sports team member, man.
You're
got a
punk.
membership to the team. Appreciate you guys, though, tuning in. If you hit that like button, subscribe. We're right there to 50,000 subscribers. Want to do that hopefully before the end of the week here, before this Falcons game. But we're going to get into here a little bit around the NFL.
Side note, let's make that happen on our show. Like, go find 200 people to subscribe right now. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead,
maybe
Booner.
we do a subathon tomorrow night and we just get people going. I don't know. Just
make the calls.
My brain, the Booner's brain's just working right now. A little subathon action. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
But
tell them.
Around the NFL here, Woodward Nights Power Rankings. Broder and I, each Monday or Tuesday after Monday Night Football, we're going to go through our power rankings to see how they change after Monday Night Football is over. And we just want to rank, and as well as, too, is right after this, we do have, I went and got, and I'll do this every single week to see how close we are to other places and where the Lions kind of move around the NFL and national media. But I got about 4 or 5 different writers around the country, whether it's just different platforms.
Pablo.
Yeah, I know last week we had.
Come on, let's go.
I don't know what that means, but.
Yeah, Broder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? What
Gotta
is
get
that?
Broder.
You know Petey Pablo?
No.
You know, can I say that on the air?
I don't know.
You ever heard Freak a Leak?
You can say Freak a Leak
You ever
on
heard
air.
Freak a Leak, man?
I have a friend named Malik, and I call him Freak Leak.
No, you know. Well, that's no. Look up Freak a Leak.
Freak a Leak?
P. Pablo. 2000.
I will. After the show, show me.
Yeah, I'll show you. But you gotta,
I would like to know.
you know, cover your eyes. You know.
Okay, I will. But yeah, we're gonna go through ours. I'll start us off real quick.
Yeah.
Number 10. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. I still think, you had to drop them, right? I think last week I might have had them almost in the top 5, maybe 5 or 6. I don't have my last week's list here, but I dropped them probably 4 or 5 spots to number 10. They're still a great football team, but they just lose. You can't lose at home to the Chiefs, or they bear that offense didn't do anything. They only had 9 points all night. So.
I agree, and I actually had him at number 8, which is the same spot I had him in the first week.
Jeez, drop them, Broder.
No, I didn't do that on purpose, but
put some pressure.
But I did them separately. I wasn't looking at my past ranking when I did this new one, but I'm okay with it. They beat the Chiefs, or they lost to the Chiefs, excuse me. So, hey, I have them at number.
What do you have at 10?
Number 10. I have the New Orleans Saints at number 10.
That's not bad.
They're coming up. They moved in outside of my honorable mentions list into number 10. I got them moving up there, and then at number 9, I have the Detroit Lions. Just down from 3 spots. I had them at 6 last week, and I think Seattle's a good team. I had to move Detroit down a little bit. This is mostly injury related, and the fact that, like we said, they need to show us. I still, without a doubt, think they're a top 10 team in the league, and still have confidence that they'll be moving up. But I had to move them down a couple spots. Booner,
number
9.
The Detroit Lions, baby. Top 10 still in the NFL. I dropped them. Yes, I did drop them, but they did still beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
They still played the Seattle Seahawks into overtime, and they they're the ones that shot themselves in the foot. There's no reason to put them outside of the top 10, in my opinion. I mean, they just competed with the NFC, one of the top 6-7 team in the NFC. So in the loss to the Seahawks, I think I had them at 5 last week. Dropped them down to 9.
Okay, Jalen, how about a quick poll? Do you still believe the Lions are a top 10 team in the NFL? Yes or no?
I'll do my number 8 too, because you already said your 8 was the Jags.
Jags.
My number 8, I had them jump up a lot because they weren't even in my top 10 last week. The Seattle Seahawks.
Wow, okay.
I put the Seattle Seahawks. I had to put them above the Lions for getting that win, and I know I already said I feel like the Lions have the better team, but it's the same situation here with the Lions beat the Chiefs, where it's like, you have to find that heavy medium. The Saints, you could say 2-0 are there. I think the Seahawks beat the Saints if they played in a game this week.
Yeah.
I think they have the better team. I know they lost to the Rams week 1. Still think the Seahawks have a better team.
The Rams, I think, are better than a lot of us thought.
Yeah, 100%.
And the Seahawks showed me something. They were depleted. That offensive line was depleted. And we thought the Lions were going to run all over them.
Now, who do you have? We'll go here. I'll go you.
You're going to love this
first.
one. You're going to love this one. This was the other team that jumped into my top 10. They were a controversial pick last week when I had them out of the top 10. I have the Buffalo Bills at number 7.
Give me that round of applause.
I do.
Coming around to it.
That's my pizza. He's buying a pizza for me.
I had to move him up. Josh Allen looked great. They ran the ball. They were actually balanced. James Cook had a game.
Yeah.
Damian Harris, who I have on my
Shout
fantasy
out.
bench,
I drafted James
didn't
Cook in
do
every league.
But yeah, the Bills, they look good. I still don't have faith that they're the brand new Bills, the BNBs. But we'll see.
You guys
playoff time.
Can we talk? They went 13-3 last year. There's no brand new Bills. They're just the Bills.
And then lost.
They're just the Bills.
Lorena Rios, real quick. Lorena Rios, I have them just outside my top 10, like 11, 12, 13.
I'm a big fan of Lorena Rios.
Yeah, no, me too.
Great commenter.
She's always been wondering where your chain is. She wants to see your chain.
I'll bring the chain to her. It's literally just like out here, this window. My car's right out there. The chain's sitting in the car.
Is it out there?
It is. Just down the road.
I hope so.
But my number 7 here as well. The Buffalo Bills, baby! had to keep them there in the top 10. They moved up a little bit. I can't remember where I had them last week. Maybe around 7, round 8. But they did beat the Raiders pretty handedly. If they win again this week, I'm throwing them in the top 5. I'm guaranteeing that.
And all Jimmy G does is win. So to beat the Raiders.
Jeez, man. He's still on that. Who do the Raiders play this week?
Doesn't matter.
No, great question.
I actually don't know. Who do they play?
Who do the Raiders play? Let me look at this real quick. I bet you they lose.
While you look, unless it's right there, I'm going to give you my number 6, which is the Baltimore Ravens.
Shout out Lamar Jackson. That's my MVP pick.
Me too. We both picked him at
Ravens lose this week.
JC.
Pardon?
Ravens lose this week.
What?
Who they play?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, bro.
In Pittsburgh?
Jimmy Garoppolo will get sacked 8 times.
Jimmy Garoppolo isn't on either one of those teams.
Steelers, Raiders?
Oh, you said Raiders? I thought you said Ravens. Fair. Yeah, I don't know. Steelers. They play at Pittsburgh.
You shook from that pizza bet.
But no, I do owe you a pizza. I gotta see that replay though. But what do you think? I have Baltimore Ravens at number 6, moved up from number 7 last week.
Love it.
Just slowly chugging along. It wasn't the cleanest game, but they looked a little better on offense with their new OC. Who you got at 6?
Number 6, I'm going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was hard for me to throw them in the top 5. They obviously lost to the Detroit Lions. And then that Jags win. They did. Their defense did. Chris Jones looked in a sack and a half already being back. Chris Jones looked great. Travis Kelce, you could tell he's still coming off an injury. That offense didn't look that great either. So I didn't. They're not at that top. I don't know. There's teams that are better than them and that are outperforming them, in my opinion, here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go the Chiefs at number 6. And I'll tell you number 5 here.
Do it.
Just talked about them. The Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
Top 5 team, the Baltimore Ravens. Don't let Broder disrespect them. That's a top 5 team in the NFL right now with Lamar Jackson.
Did you know Odell Beckham's rumored to be dating Kim Kardashian?
Is that why he's hurt right now?
Probably.
Where do you find this stuff out at? You're like my age, dude.
I'll throw this out. I think Broder gets butt crack sports.
No way.
I'm just kidding.
No, I think it's what is it? Is it butt slag? Is it that? Is it butt crack or butt slag sports?
Butt crack sports puts all the fake stuff out.
Yeah, they trick our guy. They trick our.
That might be what Broder saw.
You guys eat hot dogs without chewing.
Because I've seen one time. I've seen one time that
Broder coming back.
Butt crack put out there one time that Kim Kardashian was dating Booner. So that's probably what happened to Broder there.
Hey, like Chris Humphries, Booner, you just we got to mix it up.
He's part of it, man.
Booner's the best.
But
I was right after Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
That's tough.
He's had some epic moments in roast. Have you ever watched Roast on Comedy Central?
I have.
Pete
No.
Davidson is funny. It's nothing I could say, even on YouTube. I mean, I literally can, but I probably shouldn't. But anyways.
Chris said, I'm rumored to be dating Kim Kardashian. Chris, I've already dated her.
Sharing is
Try
caring,
again.
You know?
Reggie Bush. She was dating Reggie Bush when he was in Detroit. But anyways, we got to move on. This is not a Kim Kardashian show.
Number
Who brought
4.
that up?
You
Who
did.
brought that up?
Number
You
4.
did. Yeah.
Number 4, baby. What do you have,
No,
brother?
I haven't given you my number 5. It was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
I moved them back. They were my number 4 last week. Just moved them back one spot.
Yep.
Which is weird after a win.
We do have them at 5 and 6 each. Ravens, Chiefs.
Crazy. But we're moving to number 4. This is where my list changed a little bit. This team that I have at number 4 is the Miami Dolphins. And I almost moved them higher. I honestly almost had them above my number 3, which I'll reveal here in a second. But the Miami Dolphins, they go into fucking Arrowhead, into New England. What's New England's? Gillette. They go into Gillette. And Tua with 5-0 at Gillette, all he does is win. He's like Jimmy Garoppolo back at Gillette. But that connection with him and Tyreek, it wasn't even an epic. They weren't even connected on all the long passes, but they just have that chemistry. But Booner, your number 4.
That's crazy. Number 4.
What,
My number
crazy?
4 here, I think this should be everyone's number 4, is the Philadelphia Eagles.
They're a good pick.
I think you could say they're a top 3 team, but I think when you break down these next 4 teams here, the Eagles kind of fall on the outside of that. They did beat the Vikings, but there was still that. And then we were actually here watching the game while we were doing the show. There was still that kind of, the Vikings had a chance to win it kind of a little bit at the end. The Eagles got another touchdown to kind of end it. But they just, that Eagles team just hasn't had that oomph to it that we saw last year, in my opinion. Just when you watch the game, I just don't feel it. And that's what I feel with these next 3 teams. Don't feel it with the Eagles. But I put them at 4 out of pure respect.
Fair.
It's a respect pick.
See you, Jay Cruzen. Have a great rest of your night. But Booner, let me give a quick little recap. Quick little recap before we give our last 3. I'm going to give me my first 7, then you just give me your 10 through 4. But I have New Orleans at 10. Then I got the Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, and then Miami Dolphins at number 4. Booner, could you give me your 10 through 4?
Yeah, 10 Jags, 9 Detroit Lions, 8 Seahawks, 7 Bills, 6 Chiefs, 5 Ravens, and number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Love to see that. So at number 3, my team is led by a defensive player who I saw one replay, and it's all I had to see. After he made a sack, he did this bear crawl on the ground after getting the quarterback. It was the most athletic-looking thing I've ever seen. I have the Dallas Cowboys at number 3, and it pains me. It pains me, but they look damn good.
I have them at 3 as well.
Boom.
It's just that defense. I'll keep continuing saying this. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys. It's just like this is my Dallas Cowboys statement every week through the whole season. You try and keep your defense off the field. That's the goal in football. Is like, hey, let's keep our defense off the field. I think the Dallas Cowboys just want to keep Dak off the field and keep that defense on the field.
I think you might be right.
That's what it feels like every time you watch them.
He has more turnovers than a Boston Market.
Yeah, and they did. I can't deal.
He's on fire
because the rotisserie chickens they turn over.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like little dessert turnovers, but
like a little
let him cook.
Number 2 though. At number 2, I have the Miami Dolphins. I don't see how you can. This team is one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua's been elite. That defense has started a little bit. I don't know, versus the Rams is a little iffy. But this is, to me, I could be very, very wrong. I think this might be this is a Super Bowl caliber team. I wouldn't be surprised to see them win the AFC this year. I think they're the second best team in the NFL right now with that offense.
The Dolphins?
When that offense is going, you cannot stop them.
Imagine once they get Jalen Ramsey back, too. Like, that defense is going to get better.
Yeah, versus the Patriots this week, it was just... I gave out the Patriots +3 just because I thought that Bill Belichick at home, that defense would be buzzing a little bit, and they just kept responding. Dolphins kept responding. That their defense kept responding. Number 2, I think 2 is very fair.
Yeah. My number 2 is I believe it was number 4.
I can't believe you.
I kept the Eagles there. I don't think they did enough to lose to move back.
I don't think they're doing enough to get in the top 3.
I think they deserve to stay in the top 3.
They're just being average. Like they're just.
But that offensive line, I I know how to say Halapulavati Vaitai. I don't know how to say their right guard's name. Myalado, I'm blanking on it right now. But their offensive line is incredible. Their defensive line, Jalen Carter. I hate to bring it up on a Lions stream. Jalen Carter's been playing well. That whole defense led by Brandon Graham, a serious veteran. They still got players. They don't look as great as they did yesterday, but I have faith in a Jalen Hurts run team.
You said it right.
Yes. So we both have the same number one team.
Number one.
The San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers.
I can't move them out of there. Like I
They're
saw,
too tough.
And you'll see here, I don't know if I actually screenshot some of them, but you will see there, like if you look up some power rankings, some people had them out of it and had the Cowboys at 1.
I don't know how.
I can't move the 49ers outside. I can't.
No, and nothing against the Cowboys. They've in most years they probably would have earned that number 1 ranking, but the 49ers haven't lost
Christian McCaffrey. Debo went off this week. Brandon Ayuk, I know he got injured, but he's great. George Kittle.
Purdy didn't even look that great.
Don't mention the defense.
And then
now,
the
we already know that
defense,
is,
I think that defense is still the best in the NFL. And they're right up there. So I don't know if anyone wants to argue with that. I mean, go ahead, but I don't think you can respect that one.
Yeah, if you think that the 49ers, any of those pundits, national pundits, have the 49ers anywhere but number 1, they're definitely smoking on that Dispo. And it's the true meaning of exceptional cannabis that Dispo has. They really are the best dispensary around. They've got 12 locations. Oh, a new graphic. Look at that. Dispo Romeo open till midnight. They've got 12 locations, including their new one in Whitmore Lake, so Dispo is never far away. You can join Woodward Sports at Dispo Romeo this Friday for an all-day live broadcast. Except for our show, the Woodward Knights will be here in studio, but everyone else will be at Romeo. So I encourage you to go out and see them. Sample some products, get some good food, and listen to the boys on the desk. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? You can take your best friends and live it up in the city. That never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. You can purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas to register and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste, so you can look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Syntron. Again, that's drinksyntron.com/Vegas.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. That doesn't lose. Even when I do lose, I do not lose. We're sitting next to here, Broder, with the mustache, the Detroit Lions beat reporter. We've got Jalen in the TV booth. Nick over there in the sound booth. And we appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I know at 9:30 here, if you guys are just ending your night, relaxing, make sure you guys hit that like button, tell a friend to tune in. Once you get off work, tune into Woodward Sports here, 8 to 10. We're here every single weekday. We're taking over the wave streams. Is that the word?
Yeah.
In Detroit
Airwave
sports,
streams.
we're taking that over here.
We taking over.
We're gonna dominate.
You guys are on fire today. 8 to 10.
Orchestra.
A little karaoke late at night. Some
This
karaoke.
is a hot beat. Just leave this beat. Can you keep this beat on for a little bit?
Just a little lower and just let that baby play. But
Yeah,
we're going to
it's
talk
tickling
here.
me.
We just went over our top 10 NFL power rankings. And I went around earlier today and I went and snagged a couple from around national media to kind of compare where we have the Detroit Lions compared to where national media kind of still looks at it. Because if you guys know, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched this yesterday when I went on my rant about the same old Lions and everyone's like, oh, the season's over. Like, let's just end things now. We're one of the worst teams in the NFL. We're going to tank and go get Caleb Williams. And Brad Holmes can go get fired. Aaron Glenn's done. All of that. And I came in here and said, listen, relax. And I tried to say the national media feels the same way. They still think the Detroit Lions are a great football team. And I went here and got proof for you guys. We did our rankings. Jalen, if you want to throw the first one up here, I think the first one will be ESPN here that did their rankings here. This is the ESPN Power Rankings. Yes. ESPN, national media, has the Detroit Lions at number 8 in the NFL. Where do we have them? We had them at number 9.
Yeah. So and this is the highest ranking of any of the national outlets that you came across.
There's another one that has them at number 8 as well too. This isn't the only one. So this is kind of to my point of earlier today when we started the show and yesterday is why are we looking at the Detroit Lions so bad when this is also without C.J. Gardner-Johnson. These came out this morning. This wasn't. It came out earlier yesterday. Anything like that. You want to throw the other number 8 one up as well? Because I'm pretty sure one of the 8 ones here, Broder.
Yeah, we got this one from CBS right here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that they actually talk about CJ. Right there. They'll have to regroup without C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who is out indefinitely with the potential torn pectoral. Not the injury, but that they still have him at 8.
Yeah, and what they're mentioning, and I gotta, I haven't read that one fully through, but the one before that said Jared Goff. I mean, it highlighted the positives. Jared Goff is still the quarterback, still efficient. They still have pieces, but even to put them at number 8, knowing that C.J. Gardner-Johnson's out, means some of the people around the national media actually believe in this team and how they were built this offseason, not just looking at what's on the field so far this season. We got depth, and it seems like they're factoring that in.
Yeah, and then if you want to throw the next one up here, I think there's one that has them at number 9. I think it's the 33rd team, has them at number 9 here, ranked. And they have them just behind the Jacksonville Jaguars, just ahead of the New Orleans Saints. If you look there at number 16, the team that you just lost to, the Seattle Seahawks at 16. The Cleveland Browns at 12. So you're ahead of still some of these teams. Where's the Falcons that you played this week? At number 17. One thing I want to mention too with this is you see how the Jacksonville Jaguars are at number 8, and I believe if you looked at the other one, I don't have it up here. I'm pretty sure ESPN had the Jaguars at like 9 or 10. Can we all agree in here and in the chat? People still look at the Jacksonville Jaguars as contenders in a chance to win the AFC at their best, right?
They should. Yeah.
And all of these national media members have the Detroit Lions, in some of them right next to or ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes. And we all, in Detroit, we all look at the Jaguars as a team that has a chance to win their division, that they will win their division and have a chance to make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. That offense is high powered. They got serious weapons from Evan Ingram to Calvin to Zay Flowers, Zay Jones,
Christian Kirk.
They got weapons and the defensive line too. Josh Allen. Their defense isn't as strong as I thought they would be. They had a decent week 1, so the defense does need to improve. But I like their cornerback Campbell, and I like Josh Allen, the defender. But you're right, that offense. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be in the top 3 of the MVP race. I think they're going to be there at the end of the year. Jacksonville, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah. And last one, I want to throw it up here before we go back to break a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember last week when we went over these power rankings.
This is Freak a League.
Broder, I don't call people clowns that often. I'm one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I always have a smile on my face. I'll give everybody a hug.
Spam the chat with clown emojis.
I am the nicest person in the world. But Pete Prisco doing this ranking just screams clown. Can you throw that up, please, Jalen?
I got you, Nate.
I'm tired of this stuff.
Booner.
Different one here, Jalen.
Oh, it's loading. Hold on.
It's the next one.
Well, we can talk
that
about
one's still
Booner
Detroit
loading.
Lions at number 11.
There we go.
The one with
from
the Bucks player on there.
Dude, we're all spamming the chat with bozos.
Yeah.
With clown. Bozo, as Neil would say.
Keep going, Booner. I got
it. All right. Just at the end of the day, Pete Prisco last week had the Green Bay Packers ranked above the Detroit Lions. after they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. He had the Green Bay Packers at number 9, the Detroit Lions at number 10. I don't understand what his thought process is behind that. I thought maybe it was a joke. Easy sat in for a little bit and thought it was a joke. After a loss to the Seattle Seahawks at home, he dropped the Detroit Lions all the way to number 18.
Unbelievable.
The Green Bay Packers lost a game to the Falcons, and they dropped only to 13. Who's a better team, the Seattle Seahawks or the Atlanta Falcons?
I would say the Seahawks.
Okay, thank you.
That's actually a pretty close one, but
am I crazy for thinking that's insane at 18?
Oh, you're not crazy at all. It is insane. And I don't know why they moved him back to 18. If it's injuries, the team that they have in front, the Cleveland Browns, just lost their starting running back for the entire season.
It is a complete joke. Because the matter of the fact is you can look at any national media, you can look at any power rankings. We did our power rankings here at Woodward Sports on Woodward Nights. You can go look at the morning show power rankings. Woodward Heavyweights, I know, does power rankings. I don't know if any other shows do power rankings. But you can go on any national media, and they have the Detroit Lions within the top 11. To drop them all the way to 18th, to me, is just disrespectful. To have them last week behind the Green Bay Packers after a win on the road at Arrowhead is disrespectful. Pete Prisco, clown.
Pete.
And I don't like clowns.
Hard pass.
I hate Pete Prisco. That's my new rivalry in the game right now.
Dang, Booner. Everyone, we need a minute.
Yeah, we do have to.
We're going to go. We're going to take a break. Booner's going to tell you about Big Boy, but come back. We're going to finish off with a little temperature check all around the NFL. But Booner, tell me about Big Boy.
Let me tell you about Big Boy real quick. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. That looks so good. Woodward Nights here for dinner. Oh. I could use one of those right now. It is burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. You see it up on the screen there. Or craving chicken, the Dali chicken sandwich, or with some heat. If you like heat, Bob's hot chicken sandwich. You can upgrade your fries to regular fries, chili cheese fries, loaded baked potato fries, or just save some room for dessert because we have a treat.
Carbs.
Indulge in our new Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, or you can satisfy that sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries. That is over at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, downtown's newest sports bar. It's got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your very first visit, and visit 5irongolf.com to tee up the good time. So whether you're a serious golfer like Darren McCarty or you're just there for a good time to play like Flannel Sam, 5 Iron is the spot for you. That is at 5irongolf.com to tee up the good times. We back. We back,
baby. We are
back. That Broder, I tried.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Woodward
it was
Nights.
a new read. Our timing was a little off. But sorry, Booner. Woodward Nights.
Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We appreciate you guys all tuning in. And we're going to continue here some NFL talk. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We're at 86. We're going to hit 100 by the end of the show. We're going to do a little bit more NFL talk here for the next 5 or 6 minutes. Go to break, and then we'll finish it off here with some mailbag. Broder, this is kind of your segment here.
Yeah.
To a little temperature around the NFL.
Yeah, we were talking, do we go studs and duds? Do we go, stock up, stock down? I want to get a temperature check. Who have you seen this weekend around the NFL that's getting hotter? Who's getting colder? Where are you at in terms of this temperature? Or just give me your opinion on a guy you think is hot.
You want me to start this off?
I would love for you to start this off, actually.
My Defensive Player of the Year pick. The one.
The only.
TJ Watt, baby.
Oh.
TJ Watt.
He's cooking.
I just want my flowers a little bit for that. He is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He is the best defender in the NFL right now. He has been for the last 3 years. Even when he was hurt last year, he found a way to come back and still put up a little bit of numbers, not a ton. But he is the best defensive player in the NFL right now. He will win the Defensive Player of the Year. He's leading the league in sacks again. Hot. He wins Defensive Player of the Year, and he dominates. They will win another 9 games this year probably, and it'll just be because of him.
Hot. And apparently last year he returned from a partially torn pec in 2 months.
Yep, shout out CJ.
2 months and 2 days. I'm going to go with the guy who the Lions were fortunate to miss out on their very first game Thursday, Chris Jones. He came back with a vengeance. He wanted to prove that he wasn't holding out for any old reason. He wanted his money. I'm going to throw some stats at you real quick. PFF grade of 92.8. I think it was top 3 in the entire league. Jesus. Played 27 pass rushing snaps, and finished with almost 41% win rate.
Charles Dickerson, Micah Parsons is a dog. He is a dog. TJ Watt's better. End of story.
I got a hot take.
It's not like a big margin, but TJ Watt is that guy right now.
What, you got a hot take, Jalen?
Man, TJ Watt's my pick, but TJ Watt has a better upside than his
brother JJ.
His brother.
He will have a better career.
I think TJ Watt, if he stays healthy, he'll have a much better career.
He's still young.
Upside. Like, people don't understand it. Like, JJ Watt was great, but like TJ, I think he's a middle child too, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
They do have a younger one.
Okay.
You a middle child?
Oh, I'm only child, man.
He's 28 years old.
Only CEO, man.
Look at that.
Only CEO,
I'm middle child. Booner, do you have any other hots? I don't want any descriptions, just a list if you have 1 or 2 others.
One more. This one's a lock here. Very, very hot. The Detroit Lions are still going to win the NFC North. That's my hot.
I love that. I love that. When I was doing some research, and I'll be super quick, Ivan Pace Jr., he was a linebacker out of Cincinnati that I thought the Lions might be targeting. Yeah. He went undrafted this year and ended up signing with the Vikings. He's playing great. I won't hammer you guys with any more stats because we got to get to the cold. What?
Yes, but I want to tell you guys real quick about the Detroit Lions Insider Show, the Woodward Sports Woodward and Maine show for all the inside scoops for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you tune in. Gabrielle D. Phillips, our own Matt Broder, Detroit legend Terry Foster on Tuesdays, which was this morning. Go back and watch that, 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Booner, winter is coming. It's getting cold. Who was the coldest for you this weekend?
This is the easy one.
Really?
Zach Wilson. Career over. Career. I can't say he got his second chance, and he got that second chance. And I bet you for him, he was hoping that second chance wouldn't come for another year or two so he could develop and he could kind of learn from Aaron Rodgers. And it didn't work out that way. And it sucks for him. But he got thrown back into the fire, and it's just been brutal with Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's him. They're not giving the ball to Breece Hall. The Jets, the Zach Wilson, cold, done. Season's over. Unless they get a quarterback in the next 2 weeks, that season is over for the New York. Sucks for Jets fans too, man.
They need to be going and getting Kirk Cousins immediately. And I'm with you. That's a great point. I think he genuinely wanted to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year and just soak up all that knowledge. For my cold take, I'm going to go a little different route. I'm going to say Monday Night Football in general. Even Monday Night Football in 2023. It's off to a hot, actually a cold start. You know, in the last 3 Monday Night Footballs, the first one, the last Monday Night Football of 2022 season, which took place in January, Damar Hamlin, cardiac arrest. He goes down Monday Night Football.
Oh, man.
First Monday Night Football game this year, Aaron Rodgers goes down with a torn Achilles.
He's cooking. I think.
Then last night, Nick Chubb out for the season with a torn knee. His leg is just absolutely destroyed. bad. It's been some bad luck for Monday Night Football.
And they're double headers too.
So that was my very last point.
Wait, no, time out. You guys don't like double? I love double headers. More football. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to put the extra game on a Sunday when there's 10 games going on and you're going to miss it?
It's just the teams they pick to do it.
That I can agree with you on that. But the double header on a Monday night, give me that all day.
I don't know about that.
Because you're going to sit there and watch 10 football games on a Sunday. You're going to miss 2 or 3 games.
That's okay.
Why not move just one of them so you can watch 2 on a Monday night?
Because there's something about the exclusivity of having your one game that you look forward to on Monday night.
Have that Thursday night, man. Have your exclusivity.
Same thing. It's the same conversation as having Thursday night games, Saturday games. Like the NFL, the value of the NFL is that they're playing on Sundays.
I'm disappointed.
And they pick the worst teams to play.
They do.
If you look who's playing, those teams are like bottom tier.
But it's football.
Man, look.
I love football. It's football. We're watching. We get an extra game on a Monday night. I probably would have missed that Carolina game on Sunday because it would have just been thrown in under the rug on Sunday.
We should have started talking about this a little earlier.
I'm disappointed in the boys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more football on a Monday night. Who's complaining?
I'm gonna make a little note to bring this up again tomorrow. But we got about 10 minutes to go. We're going to take one last break. Come back. Get your mailbag questions. Ask us anything, whether it's Booner and betting or anything you want to ask Booner, or if you want to ask me about the Lions. I'm going to be down there at Allen Park for the press conferences tomorrow, and I'm going to have a chance to be in the locker room with the players. So if you have questions, shoot them in the chat or Twitter. Send me a Twitter message. But in this chat, shoot us any questions. But Booner, ask us about Lady Jane's.
Yes, I will tell you about Lady Jane's here. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. I got my haircut there just the other day from Rachel over there. Register to win a trip of your dreams, an all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. If you want me to be one of your buds, I'll be your best bud, man. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays to join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash. It starts at 9:30 a.m. and goes until game time. It's the official Lions tailgate, and it's back and better than ever. So why don't you come out and pregame with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? We got food, beverages, entertainment, all included in your ticket. So get them online at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe. We got to get to 50,000. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and direct message us Lions VIP.
Welcome.
We made it.
Back to Woodward Sports Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. Do not lose. We got Broder, Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network on the desk here as always. We've got Jalen in the TD booth and Nick in the sound booth.
What's up?
Make sure you guys, real quick, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in this late here. Tell a friend, share with a friend. Everyone, push it out there that we have this show from 8 to 10. We're looking to take over this night slot in Detroit sports. Make sure you hit that like button. We're at 94. Let's get over 100 before the end of the show, please, if we can.
Let's do it.
But we're going to get Broder. We're going to get right into mailbag here. Everyone start dropping some questions. I already have one here.
You got one? Send it.
Not really a question, but Apollo said Booner is such a W. Thank you.
W. I agree. How about this one from Ken Booner?
Yes.
Should I bet the Packers to win the NFC North?
I saw that one, Ken. I see you in the chat all the time. Love you.
MVP.
Great person in the chat. Come on. Don't disrespect the Detroit Lions. They're not going to win the NFC North. The Detroit Lions win that. And I'm pretty sure right now, because they just lost, you can probably get it at like plus 100. Basically even if you go put that in. So take advantage of that one.
Steve Wiles wants to replace the Morning Clowns. It sounds like Jeff and Sam Flannel with Booner and Broder. No, those are our boys. They're good.
I love those boys,
Hang out with us at night. We're a tag team. Go spam their chat in the morning.
Spam their chat with, we could do clown emojis if you guys want. We did the clown emojis earlier in the chat.
It's a great question.
As you're there, clown emojis, throw them.
This is a great one from Tyler Chauvet. I hope, Tyler, you're the man. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mailbag, what's the biggest roster adjustment the Lions need to make in order to improve this week? Last week, Reynolds, better than Marvin Jones. That was a positive, getting more targets, actually in the first 2 games. So what do you think, Booner? And while this happens, Nick, can you put a little beat behind this? Like, I feel like I need some music behind there.
He's cooking.
Could it be running back? Could it be moving Tracy Walker in there? Could it be, are we going to see more Jack Campbell? What roster adjustment?
I would like to see more Jack Campbell. That would be my goal. Is I do feel like he's been effective when he's on the field. So give me more Jack Campbell. So Kalamazoo, will Gibbs have over 100 all-purpose yards this week? Yes.
Hey, you should bet that.
I think he will.
Say it one more time.
Will Gibbs have over 100 all-purpose yards? I say yes. That was one last week to where I felt like he was about to have that game. With D-Mont out, I officially. I might go back to back with my best bet and go D-Mont or Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, maybe 100 yards.
I'm gonna get to the away fan here in a second. I see your question. Lorena Rios, Broder, in honor of my bro Tyler Chauvet, will the Lions sign Ndamukong Suh?
That's a great question. I don't think
I'll actually rephrase it. Will they or should they?
Should they? I wouldn't mind if they did. Yes. I don't know if he will sign with the Detroit Lions. Jeff and Ella talks about it all the time on the morning show. When I was on with him a couple weeks ago, that was a question we had. And they kind of came at me because I said yeah. But they made a good point to where he's probably going to want to wait a little bit and sign with the team that's like really, really contenders. To where if the Detroit Lions are 3-4-1 in the next few weeks, maybe he's like, all right, yeah, I might be able to go chase another ring with them and actually do that in Detroit. So I think he goes to a team like that. What was that other one that you had? The away fan.
How about this? The away fan. I'm going to get to that too. Joshua Dunseth asked Mailbag, can only go to one game this year with what's left. Which game should I go to? And disclaimer, not Monday night against the Raiders. I'll start. Let you think about that. And Nick, Jalen, if you guys have a game in mind, feel free to chime in. I'm going to go with, and let me double check the week, but it's going to be the Broncos. The Broncos come to town. I think it's late enough in the season where it's going to be an important game. December 17th, time to be determined. I think they're waiting to see if the Broncos and the Lions are actually good.
That might even get moved off of Sunday, to be honest.
It might. Flex game. Do you have an opinion?
I'm going to go with a game that I've never been to, and it's a huge staple of Detroit Lions football, is Thanksgiving.
Oh, look at that.
Especially it's versus the Packers this year. Should be a really good game, I feel like, there. But I've never been to the Thanksgiving game. That if I was you, I would go to that one.
Great call, Booner.
That is what I would choose, is the Thanksgiving game. And I know it's tough if you're doing things on Thanksgiving, but I think it's definitely worth it to plan around.
Lions fans. Do you have an opinion, Nick?
I love that Thanksgiving pick. I think if you have never done it, it's something every Detroit Lions fan needs to do just to be a part of the community on Thanksgiving. You know, it's friends and family. It's a great thing to be a part of as a Lions fan and a Lions diehard.
We're 4 likes away from 100. If you guys could hit that, that'd be great. Jalen, do you have an opinion? What would you recommend to Joshua Dunseth? What game should he go to?
Is the Dallas game home or away this year?
It's away.
Oh,
we gotta go.
man.
We gotta go travel there again.
Okay, if not, then we could do the Vikings. We can do that.
The last game of the season?
Yeah, we do that. because it might be a clincher.
It might be.
It might be a clincher. It might be a home field clincher. You never know.
The starters very well could be sitting.
So we need to beat them. It'd be nice to do that for sure.
Hey, Uncle Neil's soft feet. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to. If Broder wants to do that question, he can. I'll stay away from that one. Just precautionary.
Can you not even say it?
No, you probably can. I'm just. Coach Walk said, "Where's Reggie from Wisconsin?"
That was the question.
That Coach Walk said that. Yeah. Remember, I killed him. He's out. I killed Reggie from Wisconsin.
He's probably eating cheese.
He came in with the blue ski mask last week. I don't know if you guys remember that. He came in, sat in my seat. Killed him. Do Falcons fans eat corn the long ways? And why is the answer yes? Yeah, see, that was
it. Uncle Neil, you have some soft feet.
That is awesome.
I'm going to ask the away fan. I'm going to go around the room. This might take us to 10 o'clock. We got to 105 likes. Guys, thank you so much. That means a lot to us and the network. To round it out, the away fan says mailbag. Booner. He didn't say that. I added that. Mailbag. What's the best and most challenging part for working at Woodward Sports Network?
Best part is I love being around people. I love all the people here. It's a dream job.
Yes.
I worked so hard the last 4 years to get here. So I would say just being around the people and learning, and that's the best challenging part. To me, I don't know. I like challenges. I like to just work as hard as I can. So I mean, that might be an easy out of an answer, but that's just the truth. If you're around me, you know how much I work. So maybe that's a challenge. Maybe
that's fine.
I need to start taking a little break.
Yeah. No. Hey, that's actually good self-awareness. Self-awareness. Nick, how about you?
I think the best part is being around such a great community and Lions fans. We got to see the big win against KC and the reactions after the first week. This was my first week being a part of Detroit media and doing it. And this was my first week after a loss, and you get to see the ups and downs with it. I think that's the biggest challenge and my favorite thing about it.
Love to hear it. Jalen, you're our newest member. Actually, probably one of the newest members to the entire Woodward Sports Network community. Our family.
I might be the newest, I think. I might be the newest person, but for me, it's just a blessing. It's sports talk. You never get tired of it. Woodward's, been great to me. You know what I mean? So I think the hardest part for me is, like Boone said, like we have like full-time jobs, like, outside of here. So, coming here, after work may be hard, but like, it's what we love to do, so it doesn't really matter, for me. So that's my take on that, for real.
100%. I love all your guys' answers. Mine, for me, after I retired, after I stopped playing baseball, I went into a career in sales, and a lot of what I was doing was very individual. It was all for myself, and being now back a part of a team is by far the biggest blessing I've been able to have over these last couple months. Just especially in a working environment, being on a team and having other people push you to be your best, I love it. And for me, one of the most challenging parts, just getting over that fear of judgment. I mean, we're here to have opinions and share our opinions, and I've never really done this before. So just being confident in what I believe, what I see, just talking about what I see, getting over that hump was challenging, but I feel like I'm getting stronger each and every day.
We're going to end it here. We are over a couple minutes. But real quick, Coach Walk, Booner, Specs Howard, school paid off. Didn't go to Specs Howard School. Went to Saginaw Valley, business degree actually. Little businessman over here. Started in the basement. And two, Lorena, I will have the change tomorrow, promise you. We appreciate you all tuning in to the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you guys hit like, hit subscribe. We're almost at 50,000. Appreciate you for tuning in to Woodward Nights. We will be back tomorrow, 8 to 10. Make sure you tell a friend, and we will see you guys tomorrow night.
Good night, Boone.
Good night.